Hello, WR1 students. A very belated welcome to our class for summer 2020. Um, Admittedly, this is not the way that I wanted to be teaching this summer. I would prefer to be in the classroom looking at your actual human bodies and human faces. It is tremendously easier to teach that way, and I'm assuming easier to learn as well. And also, this isn't really the way that I envisioned the first day going either. So thank you for what I'm assuming is abundant flexibility and patience about my basically 80-year-old computer skills. So I still am not quite sure exactly what happened, but a lot of what was holding things up was a lecture that had saved weird, and so there was no sound to it, and it was, I don't even know technical language for it, but had to scrap that thing. So this is kind of a placeholder to at least say like, hello, I'm a person who exists and is going to be teaching this class, and we're just going to talk a little bit about Canvas and where to find things. Kind of calling today a bit of a wash. It was just going to be going over the syllabus anyway, so I'm going to give you guys time between now and Thursday to look through the syllabus on Thursday, or maybe even before that, if I can get myself together. I'll re-record that lecture where I go through in more detail some of the points on the syllabus. But in the meantime, you can at least sort of get started, brain-wise, get started. There's only going to be a little bit of homework, and by homework, it's like a get to know you that's in the discussion tab of Canvas, which I'm going to show you guys. And other stuff that I plan to discuss, so policies and assignments, and just sort of class values. I'm just going to save for our lesson on Thursday, and I'm assuming many of you guys are having a rough week anyways. I know that my productivity has been basically shot because of the unrest that's going on around us right now. It's very hard to concentrate in the same way it has been hard to concentrate for the past couple months living under COVID-19, but now many of you may even be personally involved in one way or another with what's going on, and I do want to spend time in our course to unpack a lot of what's going on around us critically. But that being said, I don't feel bad about it. It's just sort of taking like a little check-in, and then we're going to come back collected on Thursday. I'll talk a little bit today about online courses, what makes them a little bit different. Hopefully my synchronous, asynchronous email was at least a little helpful. If you are daunted by the fact that our course is asynchronous, please reach out. I am going to do my best to make this as easy a transition, especially for those of you who maybe this is your first college course online, or other, even if it isn't, those of you who are returning saw just our haphazard shift from last semester. So this is the first time that we're teaching for an entire term, and so it's going to be a little bit different than it was even at the end of last semester. So before I go into that, just a quick introduction, and hopefully I'll be able to share more going forward now that you are literally in my house. So my name is Taylor Holbrook, and I've been a faculty member in Irvine for 6 years. I'm teaching Writing 1 and Writing 2 here, and I teach at several other schools as well. So I teach on and off at UCI. I blanked on that name. At UCI, teaching the equivalent to this. So Writing 1 is an equivalency course for your first year writing, those of you who are planning to transfer to a UC, which a lot of our students are. So Writing 1 takes the place of 39B, and then Writing 2 takes place of 39C. So 39B. Writing 1 is sort of a basic, not basic skills, but basic college writing. And we're going to talk about what makes that different. There's a lot more analysis. There's a lot more depth and rhetorical awareness and critical thinking that happens in a college course. And what happens in this first year of writing is there's a lot of restructuring the ways that we were taught how to write from high school. And it can be a tense time because things like the 5-paragraph essay or the way that we're taught to write a thesis, those just don't really, we don't see that in the real world. It's sort of this bizarre relic that is stuck in our school systems. It happened with myself as well. And it can be a weird wake-up call to go into a college writing course and realize that all of the things that you thought were right and correct in writing actually are not. And so we'll be talking about that throughout the semester. I'll go through our course theme and our assignments and how you guys will be achieving our course goals on Thursday, because I can't go through my lecture again. It is sort of demoralizing to my soul. So I'm going to regroup and re-record that. Other than Irvine and UCI, I also teach at Loyola Marymount University, which is up in LA. It's right above LAX. And I'm in the rhetoric department there, so I teach rhetoric of social justice, which perhaps some of you guys got an idea that might be, might come up this semester based off of the course theme that I talked about in the email. So I am very fascinated with identity politics, the way that we use language to otherize, and obviously what's happening now is very, very timely. And I want to make sure that we are engaging in what's going on around us and engaging in these really heavy things without it overwhelming us. I know for many of us, going to class is kind of an escape from some of the horrible things happening around us, whether it's illness or the economy, or now the protests and unrest and pain. And so I want to strike a balance so that we do not get emotionally exhausted. So teach at Loyola Marymount. I also teach Biola University, which is a religious school that's just sort of south, like right above Orange County, so South LA. And I teach upper division business writing. So kind of like all over the place a little bit with writing, but that's what I like about it, because you could sort of jump in. If you have writing skills, you could jump into any situation and write well. And so where was I going with that? So I've been in academia for, I think this is my 9th year of teaching higher ed, and I love it. And I love Irvine the most, but don't tell anybody else. Mainly because we have such a fantastically diverse campus, and not just obviously like racially, but also of experience, of age, of religion, there's just so much difference that I find that there's a lot of homogenization that happens at both Loyola and Biola, and I really just appreciate our student body. Also, everyone is just very kind to each other, and you guys are serious students, which is great. So let's see, what else should I talk about? I'm somewhat local. I grew up in San Diego, and I've lived in the LA Orange County Metro since I came up here for college. I went to Biola, and then I received my master's in comparative literature from Chapman, and then a master's in fine arts writing from Chapman as well afterwards. So I've been in this area for a while, and I would never go back to San Diego. I enjoy living here. So I live in downtown Fullerton, in a really, really old house that is built like in the, I don't know, like 1900. So things are falling apart in it constantly. I have a cat who, if he was in the room right now, I would make you look at his face. His name is Jack, and he will probably feature himself prominently since he likes to interrupt most of my Zoom calls and lectures. I can't think of anything else that's tremendously important right now, other than, like, I love traveling and I love baking. I'm Scandinavian, I'm Norwegian and Polish, and so I make a lot of regional food, which I will probably share with you guys virtually on our Good Vibes board, which I'll tell you what that is on Thursday. I think that's all I've got. So I'm going to end this one, and then if you will click on the next link, that will take you to another short video just sort of walking through what our Canvas page looks like, and what you can generally expect on Thursday.